Hello, good evening, everyone. Okay, so once again, I welcome all of you in today's current affairs. Okay, 28th of December 2000, 28th of November 2025. Okay, I didn't find much good news in the article in the newspaper today, but yeah, certainly there are 4 5 good articles. Okay, so one article is related to National Account Statistics of India. IMF has given a poor rating to National Account Statistics of India, that whatever statistics India is presenting, they have some discrepancies. It is in relation to that. Now, I will make you people understand what is National Account Statistics and which agencies are involved and what are the problems and how we are going to resolve those problems in future. Okay. Second is that modern and future ready labor ecosystem. It is related to labor reforms which already we have studied much in detail. Today there are some more points added to that. Then there is Tex-RAMPS. This scheme is related to textile, scheme for promotion of research in textiles. Schemes are very important because sometimes on schemes directly you get questions. Okay. Then also we have one more question of uniform civil code. This is in relation to Assam. Assam government recently, yesterday I told you that Assam government has introduced the bill to ban polygyny. Now that bill has been passed by the Legislative Assembly of Assam and it is going to be presented before the President for assent. Okay, but at the same time now they are saying that after this ban on polygyny, we will be going to introduce a uniform civil code. Okay, then food coloring. What is aramine A? Okay, aramine O. What is this chemical? Which type of dye it is? What is the issues related to this synthetic dye and what problem it causes in the food? So it is related to food processing industry. Okay, so these are the 5 articles which we are going to discuss today. So let's get going with the first article. Okay, so IMF International Monetary Fund usually reviews the national statistics of every country. Okay, so it has given this time overall rating of C to India. Overall C rating. C rating means two things. Overall rating of C in national statistics accounts by IMF means two things. There are two problems. Okay, there are two problems. One which means that there are some shortcomings and they are hampering some surveillance problems. Okay, there are shortcomings which are hampering the surveillance problem, and then there are data discrepancies also. This is highlighted in the IMF's report. Okay, now first of all, I must tell you that what is national national account statistics. National account statistics. National account statistics means these are the statistical data which is maintained regarding national accounts on inflation, on GDP, on gross value addition, on GNP, everything. Okay, the central agency in India for maintaining national account statistics is Central Statistical Office, CSO, Central Statistical Office. ओके, ये हमारा नेशनल नोडल एजेंसी है हमारा डेटाज मेंटेन करने के लिए. ओके, CSO फॉल्स अंडर वन मिनिस्ट्री दैट इज कॉल्ड एज Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, MOSPI. Okay, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, so whatever GDP today we are calculating, it is in, if we see, it is in reference to one base year. Okay, and base year mostly we have which base year? Base year is 2011-12. 2011-12. The convention of writing the base year is 2011 and 2012. Let us suppose it is for GDP, we will write here GDP and then we will write it as this 100. Okay, or simply you may write, let us suppose for inflation, wholesale price index, WPI for 2011-12 is equal to 100. This is the convention of writing. Means we consider the value of base year as 100. Now if I tell you wholesale price index of 2024-25 is equal to 138. It means 38% increase in inflation since 2011 and 12. Okay, so this is the meaning of base year, means a reference year in past with reference to which we estimate our accounts. But if you see 2011-12, it is such an old year because we are already in 2025-26 budget year. Okay, so it means it has already 14 years old. It is already 14 years old. Prior to this, it was 2004-5. Okay, so the revision was done in 2015. In 2015 the revision was done, and it was 2000 made 2011 and 12. Okay, so in 2015 when we did the revision, isn't it now the time to revise again the base year? Why? Because it is so old, and it is also highlighted by IMF. So yes, the IMF highlighted it last year also, and government has given due consideration to IMF's findings. What we have done, we have set up one committee that is called as Biswanath Golder Committee. We have set up Biswanath Golder Committee. The committee has not reported so far, but yeah, we set up Biswanath Golder Committee in 2023. Okay, 2023. 2023 we have set up Biswanath Golder Committee to check the resources. This committee has mandate of three things. One is sources of data. What sources, from where you will collect the data. The second aspect which Biswanath Golder Committee will look into is basically the base year. How base year can be changed or it can be revised. And also it will look into methodology of compiling of national account statistics. It will also compile the methodology of national account statistics. Get the point? Why methodology is to be revised? Because let us suppose GDP, gross domestic product. Okay, we measure it by three methods. Okay, one is called as income method, one is called as expenditure method, one is called as production method. When from income method and expenditure method we calculate GDP, we get data differences. There are not always, the data are not always same, which means there is discrepancy in the data. So methodological errors will also be rectified by this committee on the suggestions of this committee. Base year is also to be revised. Okay, now this committee has recommended base year of 2022 and 2023. The committee has said we can change the base year to 2022 and 2023. Okay, 2022-2023 can be the new base year. But as of now, we have not changed the base year. We may change it if the committee gives proper recommendations further. Okay, so this is all you need to know about national account statistics. Now, what IMF has highlighted, I have already told you. Number one, shortcomings. Number two, data discrepancies. Number three, it has highlighted the base year is also outdated. Base year is also outdated. Base year is outdated. This is the third problem. One problem, second problem, third problem. Then fourth problem, it has highlighted the data sources from where Central Statistic Office gets the data. The data sources are not accurate. You are not getting accurate data, and you don't give accurate data into the national account statistics. So these are the issues which have been highlighted. Okay, but now I have told you already, these were highlighted last year also, and government has decided that we will go for this also in the last year. Few areas where we have got B grade, B grade, like government finance statistics. Okay, in finance, loans, because banks give accurate data, we have got B grade. Okay, whereas in some other sectors like external sector statistics, which is also published by RBI, external sector, in this also we have got B grade. And then we have got B grade in monetary and financial statistics. So in these areas, if we are getting B grade, why C grade overall? Because overall C grade because of GDP, GNP, national income, employment, unemployment, etc. On these we are performing poor. So these are calculated by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. All the data which are given by banks and RBI, they have fared good. Okay, now we will see how central government reacts to it and what reforms we introduce in our economy. But overall, I must tell you that we have urgent need of starting revision of all the accounting methodology. Okay, every 10 to 20 years we have done that earlier. The last time national income accounting revision was done in 2015. We are already in 2025. So 10 years ago we have done the revision, and so far we have not done the revision. That's why I'm telling you there is huge need for revision of national account statistics. Please remember, this is an important question for your mains examination. Revision of national account statistics, methodology, etc., etc. So new data is expected to be available by 2026, but we will see if it comes or not. Okay, so this was the first article. Second article was about labor laws, how the labor laws of the current time, what changes they have brought. They have enabled they will make India a future ready labor ecosystem. India will be a future ready labor ecosystem. Future ready labor ecosystem. Why I choose this data when I have already taught you the labor laws? Because it is very analytical one. It has done analysis. It has done analysis of the labor sectors. Okay, and how labor reforms will be very much helpful. These labor reforms will be helpful in two things. Number one, making India a Viksit Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it is good in relation to Viksit Bharat, and number two, it is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Viksit Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, it will be important in shaping the relationship between employer and the employee. Okay, now few more points about India's labor force is highlighted. The first point is India has youngest labor force, and one of the highest labor force. Okay, even one data of the labor force is given that India is basically a home of around 643 million workers. Okay, 643 million workers. We are seeing that we have 643 million workers. 643 million workers. Which technically means 1/3 of global labor force. Now these points are just addition to your knowledge. Global labor force. Now such a big labor force, if not managed very properly, how are you expecting that it will yield all the good positive expected results? Now this labor force has few problems. Number one, mostly it was in informal sector. So informal sector labor force is never tracked whether they are giving the proper production or not. Okay, is there proper production or not? Mostly in the informal sector, this is what we have been seeing. Okay, number two, we have defined only gig and platform workers, but they have now been covered in the labor laws. Okay, but what about the remaining informal sector workers? This remains a question. The remaining informal sector workers still are under issues, like they lack the social security. Okay, and gig and platform workers related data is also given in this article. I am taking you back to the article which says that the gig and platform workers in our country, how much of gig and platform workers we have? Very less gig and platform workers we have, but you are still not focusing on other employees. Okay, you are not still focusing on other expected workforce which is going to increase in the coming years. This is what has been highlighted in this article. Okay, moreover, there is one more important thing which has been highlighted, that women have been given more freedom. Okay, so gender equity has been brought when women have been given gender equity in three terms. Number one, equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work, number one. Number two, second case of gender equity is there, that women have the freedom to work in night hours also. Freedom to work in night hours. But this has been subjected to two conditions, that security and consent is important, and then number of working hours have been kept equal for women and men. Okay, get the point? So this is all you have to understand, and this is what has been highlighted in the data. Okay, now there is consistently the digital employees which have been expected to grow around 2.35 crores by 2030. The gig and platform workers are expected to be how much? Currently it is around 1 crore, but in 2030 it is expected to be 2.37 crores. Means gig and platform workers are going to increase, so this is a welcome step for them. This is what analysis has been done in the article. Okay, moreover, one important point has been highlighted, that post GST, this another reform has been one of the biggest reform in the past decade. Okay, post GST, labor reforms are going to be biggest reforms. Labor reforms are mega reforms. This is all that has been highlighted in this article. I hope you have got this completely. So you add it to the labor codes knowledge, and analytical point of view, it is very, very important. Okay. Now, next is basically the scheme for textile sector in India. Government announces scheme for promotion of research in textile. What is the name of the scheme? It is textile focused. The scheme is textile focused research, assessment, monitoring, planning, and startup. That's why we call it RAMPS. 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 Tex-RAMPS. Textile focused. R stands for research, assessment, monitoring, planning, and startups. S for startup. Okay. So Tex-RAMPS, this scheme has been highlighted. What will be this focus of this scheme and how much it has been allocated? 305 crores have been allocated, first of all. And what is this? It will strengthen to the objective of the scheme is, what is the objective of the scheme? The objective of the scheme is to strengthen research and innovation and competitiveness in textile sector. This is for what this scheme has been brought into existence. Now this scheme will be from 2025-26 to 2030-31. For a 5-year period, this will be the period of operation. Okay, 5 years will be the period of operation for this textile sector. Okay, it will basically go for research and innovation and empowering the Indian textile sector. Okay, get the point? Now, first of all, there are gaps in research and data systems in the textile sector. Those will be addressed. Okay, it will also support innovation and it will also lead to capacity development. Capacity development means developing workshops will be conducted, and people engaged in the textile sector will be taken on great trainings and great initiatives. Academia, industry will collaborate, and research will be done for improvement in the textile sector. Get the point? So I want you to understand India's textile sector. Then only these such articles and such schemes you will remember. I hope you will remember Tex-RAMPS scheme. For examination, schemes are mostly important for your prelims examination, but their impact and their but the impact as well as their analysis, how they will change the economics, that is important for mains examination. Okay. Yeah. So if I talk about the textile sector of India, India's textile sector has great potential. It is a great potential, and India has a potential to become a global leader in textile sector. India has potential to become global leader. means India can become a global leader in textile sector. Then what is stopping India from this? Basically, there are some weaknesses. We lack research and development, we lack innovation, we have basically high production costs. Okay, what are the issues in India's textile sectors? Issues: high production cost. So why is this production cost very, very high? For this we need to do the research. Okay, then we have also some issues like fragmented supply chains. We don't have proper routes. Fragmented supply chain. Okay, no proper routes of the systems to be going. Okay, then there are basically sustainability challenges. All these challenges are going to be discussed in the Tex-RAMPS scheme. Okay, if you see the textile sector in India, it contributes 2.3% to GDP. Contribution of textile sector to GDP is around how much? 2.3%. I am talking about 2024, and by 2030 it is expected that it may go up to 5%. It may go up to how much? 5% contribution of textile sector to our GDP. Okay, then if we go proper industry, in industrial sector, textile sectors goes 13%. 13% it contributes to industrial sector. Okay, and then if we see employment sector, if we see employment sectors in in employment, huge amount of people are engaged in the textile sector. Around 4.5 crore workers are engaged in textile sectors. 4.5 crore. Okay, now in world, second largest producer of textile, India. In world, we are second largest producer. Means we have a potential to become a global textile leader in textile sector. We have that potential of becoming leader in textile sector. Okay, so this is how the textile sector is faring so far. To make sure that it contributes 5% to our GDP, more contribution to industrial sector, more workers to engage, we need the schemes like textile ramps scheme. Okay, this is why this scheme is in news. You have to understand that we are also having key markets in United States, European Union, United Arab Emirates. These are our export destinations for textiles, and Indian textiles account for around 36 billion US dollars. 36 billion US dollars, which is actually huge contribution to our exports. How much? Which is a total, if you see, it is 12% of total exports. 12% of total exports. So how important this sector is, but still we don't have much initiatives. That's why since post 2021 there has been great focus on textile sector. There was an initiative in 2022 budget, 22-23, mega textile parks in India. Mega textile parks were to be developed in India. Now, after reading the newspaper, this is how you remain updated with things which go on. Okay, you remain updated with issues like textile sector. How is it performing? How has it been performing in the past also? Okay, so a lot of issues you need to understand in these sectors of the economy. So that's why I found this textile sector related news very, very important. Okay, so this is all you need to understand. The next thing which we have to understand is Uniform Civil Code. Just few things you just remember that Assam has passed recently a bill to ban the polygyny. Okay, to ban polygamy. Now, after the passage of this bill, Assam government says that if we will continue in the government, we will bring in Uniform Civil Code. What is Uniform Civil Code? It is a civil law. It is a civil law uniformly governing the lives of all the citizens. Simply, if you have to define the Uniform Civil Code, it is a single set of laws governing personal matters. Okay, single set of laws governing personal matters. Now, where does it comes from? It has been a part of our Constitution, Article 44, which is Directive Principles of State Policy. Directive Principles of State Policy are the principal directions given to the states which need to be followed in policy making. You get the point? When I say state, I don't mean Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana. When I say state, I mean in political terms, state is the word used for the country. Get the point? So, but why it has been kept in DPSP? Because it is not mandatory that you should do it today only. It is to be seen in future. When time comes, you will start working on it, and when the Indian society gets so much tolerant, when it gets so much balanced, it needs progress, more progress, then you can bring a single law governing the personal matters. What are these personal matters? It includes marriage, marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, etc. Marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, etc. Yesterday also I told you that Uttarakhand government has already brought in the Uniform Civil Code, and in that Uniform Civil Code, polygamy has already been banned. Okay, so after banning polygamy, Assam government also plans to bring in this Uniform Civil Code. This brings in Uniform Civil Code. Okay, now why Uniform Civil Code is required? Because it is said that we have seen gender discrimination across laws. We have seen gender discrimination across personal laws. Okay, like earlier there was this, one issue like triple talaq. Okay, triple talaq. Okay, which is called as talaq e bidat, which was banned by government of India. Okay, so this caused so much pain to the Muslim women, which were just being handed over the talaq over phone, WhatsApp, or messages. This is how it caused a lot of agony for women. So gender discrimination. Moreover, there are also some social malpractices. Like, if there is breakdown of marriage, there is no law regarding maintenance. Okay, there was no law regarding future of the wife and children, and estranged wife which you have left. What is the future of that woman? Okay, there were no laws. There was one case also related to this, that is 1985 Shahbanu case. 1985 Shahbanu case. In this case also, Supreme Court said that we need a uniform law which will deal with such issues. Yesterday I told you there was one case, that is Lily Thomas versus Sarla Mudgal. Okay, or Sarla Mudgal versus Lily Thomas. Sarla Mudgal versus Lily Thomas, in which it is said that conversion to any religion for marrying twice is not allowed. Okay, so such issues keep popping up. That's why we need Uniform Civil Code. Okay, but is this the right time to introduce Uniform Civil Code pan India? Is this the right time? This is a matter to be seen and debated over a period of time again, and after consultation we can come to a conclusion. Okay, so this is another issue, Uniform Civil Code related issue, which was there in news. Then India's food coloring woes and steps being taken to combat the coloring recurring issue. What is food coloring? It is a issue in the food processing industry that to beautify the food products and to increase their shelf life, various artificial colors are allowed. Okay. Now in India, we have Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006. Okay. Also, one more, Food Safety Standards Authority of India is the authority which has totally banned use of synthetic dye to color foods. But still, one synthetic dye, that is called Auramine O. Okay, Auramine O. This synthetic dye is being used to give colors to different foods so that they can be so that these foods can look better, and they have longer shelf life, and they can be sold easily. Okay, it is a synthetic yellow dye. First of all, you have to understand it is a synthetic yellow dye mainly used in textile and leather industries. Okay, printing inks, paper manufacturing, etc., etc. It has vivid colors and it is less expensive. Okay, why Auramine O? It is a synthetic synthetic yellow dye, less expensive, and then multiple uses. Okay, that's why this has been in news and that's why this has been used. It poses a variety of health risks. Okay, like it has basically mutagenic effect. It can mutate the genes and cause cancer. Okay, then it has also it can damage liver and kidney. It leads to enlargement of spleen. So these are its negative effect. These are its negative effects. So laboratory testing of food has shown that there are basically huge adulteration of these dyes and chemicals in food, but still we have stringent provision in food safety standards act of 2006, but they lack enforcement. There is less staffing in the food safety and standard authority of India. Then surveillance systems are also very poor and weak. Okay, therefore we have to see that sampling, surveillance, enforcement of these provisions in Food Safety and Standards Act of 2006 are put in place to check the adulteration in the food items. Get the point? So these are the few articles which are very important today. I have discussed them all with you. So we'll meet again tomorrow and we'll continue with the current affairs series. Thank you so much for joining me.